It's that CSZ gang. They said pull up, so I came. You better put some respect on their name. Yeah, 55, what's goody? Kill the vibe, how could it? Big Cardinal on the hoodie. Let me break it down for you fully. This ain't your average broadcast. This ain't just no podcast. The mother shows spread fake news. We just call them broadcast. Wes, Joey, Sam, Shawn, Dalton. And you know that boy Higgy. He said he don't want no small fries. Tell them they better make them biggie. Yeah, you already know what we be on. We got the crown, we hold the throne. We throw the mails and you take them home. When they ring the bells, you know that it's home. The bar set, we setting the tone. If we set it, then set it in stone. Sit in the streets, set up your phone. You in the Cardinal sports zone.
Hey, look at the new graphics there. I don't know who did that. I appreciate it. Had to get somebody.
I'm at grass track wall right
Okay.
now. Oh, there we go.
Listen, Drewville or bust, baby. And it kind of sounds like behind the scenes, that's exactly what we're going to get. We'll get caught up to everybody on the chat line here in a second. Already exploding. We appreciate that. We're coming to you live from the Four Peg Studios. This is the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Wallman. I'm here with my co-host in studio. I can't wait till I get my studio repaired. Actually gonna we'll have news about that next week's show because I'm really excited about the new studio that Shoot 360 and Cherry Pickens putting together for us. Shout out to them. It's gonna be nice. We will no longer be in the kitchen, guys. We'll have our own dedicated area. Have couches, TV. It'll be like a mini BW3s here at the crib, and then the people that had to join virtually will just have to miss out on it. But speaking of the people that are here. It is if you look up in a dictionary, if you're looking in a picture dictionary and you looked up the word Bears fan,
okay,
Virginia, with a couple letters missing, and just all around great guy to be our first dude. It's our man, Shawn, No Touch Barber. Shawn, what's good, man?
How's it going, y'all?
Hey, man. Having a good time. Glad you're here. Little brother, Joe Wallman.
His life's like a COVID mask.
Oh, no.
Protects him from everything.
Here we go. It is our women's basketball beat writer and football beat writer who is probably chomping at the bit to get to write about anything with this long, awkward 2-week break in between the end of the tournament selection. Monday, don't they pick tomorrow? I think they pick tomorrow.
8:00
tonight.
I think it's
tomorrow. Well, he would know. It's our women's basketball beat writer, football beat writer, the one and only Sam Baisden.
What up? I'm pretty sure it's Monday.
I think so.
I thought I've seen earlier. I'm just saying what I've seen on the webs.
On the interwebs, absolutely. Yeah, the whole crew's in here today, except for Higgy, who is at Whataburger right now, and he said he'd join us when he got home. I told him no. We'll see how that goes. Next up in the back, our cleanup guy. He is the 6-star red chipper from the Ville, Mr. Dalton Pence.
What's going on?
And last but definitely not least, he is the bar crawl all-star. He's got the keys to victory, the keys to success, and he's got the yellow flag to throw whenever y'all get out of pocket. It's my man, Wes Keyes.
What's up?
What's
Not
up,
bar
Wes?
crawl all-star, though.
Listen, we talked about it yesterday. You told me that you and Sam were doing damage last night, or going to do damage last night. How'd that go?
It's like your beat writer's wrong.
It's tonight. It's tonight at 8. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I need to be the beat writer now.
No, it's been Selection Monday every year for about 20 years.
That's why I said I thought I seen it today.
Fair enough.
Tonight at 8:00.
All right, Sam, you're fired. Joey's the new women's basketball beat writer.
I quit. He's retired.
Well, you
Yes,
do get to sit next to Christy Banta. So,
Coach Walls,
Not
how
a
do you
stinking
feel on
period.
the topic of pets being spayed and neutered?
I'm gonna spray. I don't know about
Stop
spray.
it. Stop it.
Don't you start.
Listen, we'll get to the Mossy
Hey,
Oak
that's my
chat.
stick. Don't you tell me what to do.
We'll get to the Mossy Oak text line here in a second. I wanted to first off point out the fact this is our 2-year anniversary doing the video show. We've been doing doing them both. It'll be our 6th season coming up here in August. But 2-year anniversary. Glad we could bring this to you all because listen, we love doing the podcast and they get sent out to many, many, many more platforms and avenues. But the thing we were missing was the interaction of the public, and this helps us satisfy not only the people that want to download this after it's out and put it on while they're working out Monday morning before they head to work or when they get home from work. But this also kind of quenches the thirst of the people that want TV, live interaction. That's what we're going to do. That's what we've been doing. We hope to do it.
Bill Jones plays it while he's driving to Chicago and back.
Absolutely. Happy birthday to our guy, Bill. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, there.
If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or however, send us your questions on social. We are having a viewer vent session today. Let us know what all, because we did a 2-hour show Wednesday night, and it was myself, Wes, Higgy was there for a portion of the time, but we welcomed on. We had one scheduled guest, and it turned into 5 people. We had Dalton scheduled for that night, and then my guy Dom Yates hit me up. He's like, "Let me hop on tonight. Kenny was fired. Let's go." Okay, talk to him. Then Asad Ali, my man, hit me up. He's like, "I would love to come on and talk baseball." So I was like, okay, that'll be a good point for us to stop halfway through, have him on. Then Dan Furman from the 502 Circle hopped on with us for a few minutes, and then Bender hopped on. Who else? I'm missing somebody. There were 5 people, right? Or was it just 4 and it felt like more because we had
And it was the 5. You got the 502 Circle.
Dalton was the 5th one. Never mind.
Okay.
So nevertheless, we had a good time. We talked about a lot of the stuff that we were going to talk about today then, but we will kind of summarize, gloss over that. Anything y'all want to know about, we'll address it. Just hit us up on the Mossy Oak chat line. Check on the graphic to see how you can follow the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast on social media and how to help support monetarily. Hit that thumbs up button while you're in here. On YouTube, make sure you are watching on YouTube if you can help it. It will help us out more with our optics. And as far as getting numbers, like the advertisers want to know YouTube numbers. They don't really care about Twitter or Facebook. So follow us on YouTube. Watch us on YouTube if you can. And a shout out to those fine sponsors: Bear Nose on Market, Fitness Market, Four Pegs, the Collision Course Crew Tailgaters, Cherry Pick and Shoot 360, and Mossy Oak. Did you all know?
I did.
I was checking the comments I don't never check the comments on YouTube because it's normally a bunch of "you're a fat this" or "you're a dumb that" or "your mom's so old" or something about my dad who's not here any longer. So I just normally stray away from that. But the other day I accidentally clicked on the comment, right? The comment section. And this person had the audacity to say, "Great show if the guy on the left would let somebody else talk every once in a while."
I saw that.
Yeah.
Bro,
And I'm like,
about time somebody says it.
God, but I'm like, man, Sam's on the left. He never talked. I'm joking. I just thought that was funny. Yeah. Well, duh. This is the Cardinal Sports Zone, not the Wesley Key Market or the Sean's Love Life Advice Line. It's the Cardinal Sports Zone with your host, Jeremy Wong.
You know who Sean wants his coach? Dusty May.
Yeah, Sean and Dusty May goes like peanut butter and mayonnaise.
Dusty draws.
But no, I thought that was funny to bring up. Let's get caught up on the chat line. We'll get into the topics that I wanted to get into. The name of today's show, by the way, No Pain, All Gain. And you know how I spelled the pain. So that's what we're going to do. Our guy Welch, I'm going to throw some of these on the screen and go ahead and give the shout outs as well because they're loyal viewers. They want to see it. Welch, hello, I'm here on time. Hillmore Bay, what's good? Jeremy and the crew, what's up, man? Corey Carson, what's good, fam? Tell us something good. I wish I could tell y'all who the next head coach was at Louisville, but we have not got that figured out yet. I honestly expect things to wrap up pretty quickly. And we'll talk about that in a second.
Another thing Sean knows.
We'll talk about the Drew meter. And what I mean by that is, what is the time frame to where we still have a shot with Scott Drew? I feel like that's sitting at 7 days right now. I feel like if we haven't heard anything concrete from Josh Hurd or from anybody that knows, and not just accounts that tweet stuff out about people being the pick or trying to there's accounts that try to scoop everybody with false statements and then they get proved wrong, and we're not trying to do that. We want to make sure we have the most accurate information for you at all times. But I'm expecting us to hear something during this week if it's anybody but Scott Drew. And once we get to about 7-8 days in, if he's still in the tournament and we haven't heard anything, that's going to be a pretty good indicator to me that he is Drew's the dude. How about that? Mix the pick. Drew's the dude. Tom Jeffries, good afternoon, fellows. Brian McGlasson says, Dalton, to answer your tweet, I'd rather walk on broken glass to work. Just didn't want the troll response from you-know-who. Facts. I've got that dude muted, and I can show you all on my phone right now. By the way, let me go ahead and shout out the Facebook watchers that have joined in. Brent, Stephen, Jonathan, Nikita, Dwight, Steve, Peggy, Kevin, Brent, Daniel, and Tom Jeffries. We appreciate y'all. I can tune in on here. Facebook, we really get the most viewers on YouTube, then the second most from Twitter, third most on Facebook. So I try to make things really special for the Facebookers that tune in. I wish I would have done a screen share. Anyway, I tweeted out, so I made the mistake of saying, well, you could say I picked my nose and you'll get Mick as the pick as a response. I don't know how well you can see that. That was all the times this one dude responded to the same tweet. It's like 15 Mick is the picks. So it is what it is. He feels very strongly about that guy, I think, from what we can tell. But yeah, I've got him muted again, and somehow he still gets through. Corey Carson says, here we go. Hashtag absolutely Steeler Nation. Stand up. Tom Jeffrey, so bummed that our Bears traded Fields. I thought it was ignorant. I couldn't believe it happened. Our dude KG says, what's up, guys? Cashmere, yes, sir. What's up, fam? Dwayne, what's good, Card family? IK in the building. Yo.
Bubba
Bubba Ray, Shawn is alive. My guy DBG really wants, listen, Daniel Garcia really wants Richard Pitino Jr. And that's to be completely transparent, that he is a family member of Daniel's. There's 2 degrees of separation. I'm not really sure how. Nor do I want to put that out there. That's his business. But yeah, he really wants Richard Pitino Jr. HB says, as a humble card for life, I just want to get some structure back in as a competitive, good basketball program who wins 20 plus before I even think about the NCAA tournament again. Okay. Y'all's opinions, y'all's thoughts, they're brought to you by Mossy Oak and Hart Realty. Our guy, Paul Thomas, who's tuned in. By the way, I wanted to let you all know, did any of you all see Midnights with Marcus Maben? I think it was Thursday night.
Yeah.
Our guy Marcus Maben was there, and of course he patched in his friend Steve Rummage.
Yep.
And then he started some nasty rumors about me, talking about I wanted certain Penny Hardaway to be our next head coach, and that I was reporting and putting a story up. So I just wanted to let you all know that Steve, in his off time, we're gonna go hang out with him, watch the selection show later on tonight. But in his off time, he likes to kick puppies, drop babies on concrete, and drowned old ladies. So that's what you all really need to know about Steve Rummage. Huge fan of the pineapple too. Jeff Left says, what up, fellas? What's good? Bubba says Sean's a Virgo. Oh, that didn't say Virgo. Sorry. Jana, sup y'all?
The other one.
Subscriber. Bubba Ray says the truth hurts. Yeah, absolutely, HB. I appreciate that. Bubba says hashtag bricked up Sean. Good God. Atlanta in the building. Walter Hell, what's up? Brent Kaufman says, will Wade and retain Nolan? I thought a couple of days ago that wouldn't even be a possibility. Carrillo says, what's up, family? Mick is a prick. Mary, what's up, Mary? Says, hey, I'm still waiting on my keto desserts you were supposed to make and deliver to me when I was in the hospital, but whatever. Peggy, we're not going to put that comment up there because that's not really an acceptable comment to us because Nolan has not done anything. We're not even really going to accept that. Acknowledge that. Mick is not the pick, says Daniel Garcia. Stephen Pollard says that they like Will Wade. At least he can buy his players now legally. No, he did not leak anything, Peggy. Can we put a stop to that? First off, there was an article released, and that's been rebutted. That's why nobody has said anything about that since the article come out. KP said a bunch of lies on his way out, and it's a wrap. At least he can buy his players legally now. He's my second choice behind Drew. I've been told vehemently, thanks, Will, that there is no shot that we're going after Will Wade now. So I hate that. I hope that it's false, but I trust this person. So glad to see you doing well, Jeremy. Thank you. I appreciate that. So glad to be here. Is that guy John Ramsey? Me and Dalton long believed it was. I told Dalton it was, so that's why he's long believed it was. I was told the other night. I did too. I told you it was John Ramsey.
You did not.
You told all of us.
I told everybody. Oh, it must have been one of the shows you took off.
Yeah, probably.
Loser.
But nevertheless,
But
I had
he outed himself too a week ago, I think.
Yeah,
So
he low-key did.
So he played to that. It's not him. I can tell you from matter of fact, I have a friend that was out to dinner with him the other night while this was going on. He said that John did not have his phone out the entire time he was there. So
he's got his partner.
It's not John Ram. John, my guy Mike Rutherford. I hit him up and I was like, "Hey, people are saying now it's not John." He's like, "John couldn't even figure out a text message, let alone how to tweet that frequently like that." So. No, it's not John. I feel comfortable saying that. T-Will says, CSZ family, what's good? Keep up the hard work, Phil. It could be Mick. Our guy Lemon Pepper, what's up, man? Lawrence in the house. I don't care who the coach is. If he doesn't do good, he will have to answer to me. Okay.
Ooh. Hey, shout out to Lawrence, man. Lawrence is...
He's a real one, man. Lawrence is a real one.
Lawrence calls it how he sees it. I respect it.
He's everywhere, too. He's on every show.
It's that Lawrence, okay.
Yeah, it's that Lawrence.
Come on, man. Come on, Mark.
Come on, man.
Come on, Steve.
John, hopefully one day you find somebody as passionate about you as Brang Brom home is about Mick.
Absolutely. I love that. Guy just took my niece to the tournament. Absolutely. What
Magic 8 Ball?
What school is
Highly
it?
Doubtful.
What school is it?
Sorry.
I could now Wes is laughing and it cut me out. Jesus Christ, this is a show.
Funny.
There was a university that fired their coach this week, and they punched the ticket to the NCAA tournament. Yeah, absolutely. That's just nuts. But yeah, I know he took McNeese State to the tournament. That should be a draw, but I can tell you this: after all the people that I have talked to that want him, I talked to the fellows here about a couple guys I spoke to before the show started. That led me to believe about another crazy coaching rumor that I won't even bring up. It's so crazy. But they both, if y'all know who I'm talking about, both of those guys are friends with Will Wade and want him here. They just said they don't think that the university will take that shot. So we'll see. Again, there's a week or so left in this search. It is what it is. Ask Jared. No, he didn't. And y'all, if y'all watch this, listen, here's my biggest thing. And I don't want to talk too much about this because I promised him that I was going to keep his name out my mouth today because I want this to continue to come. Because thank God for Scott Drew. As y'all seen in the opening credits, he decided to hop in with us for a little bit. We appreciate that. That's that false story from KP to Eric Crawford come out. Was it Wednesday night?
Mm-hmm. Right,
and then Thursday morning, the rumors about Scott Drew's representation meeting with ours come out. And it's been an afterthought. I haven't seen but one douche canoe reference Nolan Smith, and it was at like 11 o'clock at night after they'd had a couple sodas or whatever. Mary is partial to Josh Hurts, but they live in Terre Haute now. Well, yeah, we're not going to. Josh Hurts, I'll maybe interview him for Dallas High School, but not for here. Steve snitching. Yeah, Steve snitching, but he was lying too. So it is what it is. Everybody else laughing. Eye cases. Honestly, having Penny on the next staff would be cool. Put your bourbon down. Chad Brocky, what's up, everybody? We're almost caught up. Now that's funny. The pineapple Steve is going to get. Let him get me. I'll tell him tonight. Look, you don't bring a water gun to a street fight. Yeah. I'll knock that water gun out your hand and then beat the out of you. Have to get this out. Sam picked Miami, says Bubba. Fair enough. Peggy apologized for her comment. She didn't know. And that's another thing. Like, can we please stop running with rumors and then saying, well, this guy said it. Then you click on his profile, 200, he's got 200 followers. Nobody's ever not followed by anybody you know. We have to stop with the false narratives because people like Peggy who don't get on Twitter that much, but they get on Facebook and they see Clown Show A put out a rumor that's not true, but that's all they can believe because they don't see anything else about it. So let's try to be responsible in what we're doing, stay cool, and not. There was a Susan Sweeney Crumb post the other day that was photoshopped and passed around on Twitter saying it was her Facebook. And then you go to her Facebook. There's no post anywhere near there. I asked a couple of the old school basketball players to contact her, see if she'd been hacked. She said she never did it. So somebody photoshopped the Susan Sweeney Crum Facebook post. It was like GFY Louisville fans, pretty much. And everybody ran with it. Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, Google Maps, everybody. So
Louisville Mojo.
Black Planet, all of them. ICQ, all of them ran with it. Hillmore Bay says Scott Drew is the best candidate by far. I agree. I want to know our thoughts on another top 3 candidates. I like that. Keto Desserts never made anything like that. Well, I know that was a joke. I was in the hospital prone, laying flat for 4 months. I didn't eat anything while I was in there. I would have took like a 20,000 calorie cookie if I could have got it. I'd rather have Richard P. instead of Mick. I want to see how many people believe that. Is Wright really helping Josh look? I believe that. Will Flowers says, so what timetable do you think Josh Hurd is given to Scott Drew? I think he's told him a couple weeks. The portal opens Monday. We can't wait much longer than that to get started.
Do you ever confirm whether that's the portal opens for people to enter or that's
the portal opens for people to enter on Monday? I don't know if you can I don't know if you can commit at that point.
Okay.
That's something that maybe Dalton has a little more insight on.
It's like free agency. I imagine once the portal opens, you technically can commit. I don't think you'll see many, but it's the first day.
Cool. What's up to Mike and Glenn? Brent Kaufman says Charity loves Nick. I don't know who Nick is. No, Nick's not the pick. Bay says Mick can coach, but he seems to have bad luck. Dwayne, right? I feel like he's better than Patino. Speculated name on the list. Okay, is Richard Pitino on the list? He is on the list, but he's way down on the list. He's like receiving votes. Shaka Smart doesn't want to leave Milwaukee, so he's not even. Oh, Louisville MBB says I am brought Brom home. He is taking. I don't know who he is. He's taking responsibility. It's probably Dalton. I swear it's probably Dalton. I think Cronin's fiery attitude may be something that would do well with the program. Doss my behind. Hey, look, Shirts would get swallowed up at a Power 5 program. He wouldn't be able to. I watched him the other day on the sidelines, and he's a really good mid-major coach. He come to Louisville, and he would be, you know how Chris Mack left with like 10 games left in the regular season? He would leave 10 games into the regular season, I feel. That's just my opinion, though. I'm entitled to it. Go Cards. Drew to the Lou. T. Carter, what's up, y'all? Pulling for Scott Drew, Dusty Mayer, Jerome Tang. I was really, really loving the Jerome Tang pick until Mike Rutherford's show on either Thursday or Friday. He said that we weren't going to touch him for other reasons, and I assume that just means like skeletons in the closet or something. I don't know. So I fully believe Tang.
Louisville don't like Tang.
Shawn don't for sure. I was gonna have a glass of it here for him when he got here, but I couldn't find nobody. But yeah, please get us a coach that will bring us back to where we deserve to be. Marcus said that it was real. That what was real? Listen, I'm trying to get. No, it wasn't real. The Facebook post from Susan Sweeney Crum was not. Marcus also likes to, I love Marcus. He's been my friend for decades. But when did Marcus say that? Was that 4 drinks in, 5 drinks in, or a whole bottle in? That's what I'd like to,
That's just the drinks you saw on camera.
For sure.
That ain't the ones that he drank before.
Hey,
what's the standard or bar for the next head coach? I'm almost caught up, guys, and I promise we'll get to the actual show. Championship Drew incoming by year 3. Book it now. I hope we have, as a fan base, the patience to wait 3 years. Roland JoJo says if by Monday we haven't announced a coach, then there's a solid chance it's Drew. Well, I wouldn't say that because, you can. That's fair, but I think that the timeline is more like a week. Like if we haven't heard by, and we're not going to announce a coach tomorrow. I'm sure as I say that, it'll be breaking news tomorrow. But in my mind, it's going to be at least a week before we hear anything. If it is Scott Drew, I imagine Josh would know by Thursday at the latest, even if it's not made public. Well, it sure looked like Scott Drew's team was playing like a team that knew their coach was leaving the other night. They got mollywopped. Carito says, how many of our players enter the portal tomorrow? I expect Brandon,
12,
Caleb, and Sky, and I expect at least 4 to enter the portal within the next few days.
I got a question on that when you get through everything.
What is y'all's opinion on Huggins? A lot of people don't like him because of his past mistakes.
I like Hugs,
but I'd rather have Bob Huggins than Shirts. I'd rather have him over anything less than what we've been promised. And again, that's a touchy subject because we, the fan base, have materialized that list. For all we know, none of those guys are on Josh's actual list. That's a list that we have created by buzz, by opinion, and through some conversations with people that would know.
let's double Jeff Wall's salary and just have him coach.
Just have him coach both. We can disagree. I just want our Cards to be great again. Yes, ma'am. I don't think any of them leave until they see who the coach is. No, they are definitely going to. We're definitely going to have some portal entries tomorrow. I mean, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. If I can get caught up on the chat line, here we go. I've never heard a single name that people like that others don't like. Even Drew has detractors because he's friends with Barnhart. I don't care about that. Let's win. Bruce Pearl wouldn't be bad. I'm going to block them from the chat. I'm just kidding. And finally, caught up. Scott Drew leaving. He's built. What he's built is something I'm sure you'd have to ponder on for at least a week. Absolutely. So what I want y'all to do, your all's job in the chat line, because I've just got caught up. It's taken me 20 minutes. We're caught up on the chat line. No for Buzz Williams for Lawrence. I'd be okay with Buzz. But here's y'all's assignment in the chat. In the next few minutes, we are going to let you all not only give us your top. If you're the person that's in charge for Louisville basketball making the new coach, you give us your top 3 and tell us which one is your home run hire. And then also, I'm going to allow each of you all to keep 4 players. You tell me which 4 players in the chat you're going to keep, and we're going to ask you all as well. Let's get into it, man. Lost in the ACC tournament, first game. KP booted by Felicia. For those of y'all that are going to be like, well, I thought he was your guy. Well, he was my guy. And just, again, if you all have listened to this show, there is stuff in that Crawford article that you all know from hearing me talk about on the show that's absolutely false. So if 3 things are false that I can count of myself that I've talked about on the show, that tells me the entire there's stuff. And I know Crawford and him are tight, but it's just not true. It's just not true. So, and try to put them all in the same tweet or message so I don't have to read off 72 messages. I'd appreciate that too. But if you all have watched the show, you know that I have been talking about stuff going on behind the scenes for the last 4 or 5 months, some dissension. I didn't really go into it. Basically, I'm not going to get into it today because I spoke with Nolan this morning. I told him I was going to keep his name off the show for the most part, and I think we've done a good job of that because there's nothing to talk about as far as the lies that were spread earlier in the week. Now, whether he's going to be a part of the next staff or not, we could talk about that at a later time whenever stuff like that materializes. However, he's gone. He turned his back on a lot of people, and that's why I feel like now, after seeing the stuff at the end of his tenure, I feel like we talked about why did all these people that promised their money and support to KP turn their back on him at the beginning of this tenure? If this is how you treat somebody, you called your nephew the first press conference, and this is how you treat somebody that's supposed to be your family, then I will not defend you again. I appreciate your time because no matter who would have been in here this 2 years, it would have been very similar to this. And we'd be booting them out. We'd have been like, this probably should have hired Kenny Payne instead of that. And I'll be honest with you. I think Kenny Payne, had he waited 2 more years for this Band-Aid, I call it a Band-Aid because he come in, he covered all the stuff that was ugly and that was broken, and he sent players away. And a lot of people joke about the year 0 thing, but it really was for him because he was more focused on off-the-court stuff, as it showed last year, than on-the-court stuff. And even then, with the on-the-court stuff, he was focused on the kids and their psyche and their behaviors and them just being good kids. I mean, I'm not going to say anything bad about his motives and stuff, but I think he got under a lot of pressure. He started turning on his own this year, and it was very, very right around the time that it come out, the thing he's being accused of leaking, which it was talked out. the rumors that come out, they were not from Nolan. They were from somebody else that I'm pretty sure I know who it was. But those rumors come out about Kenny being fired in December, and somebody had projected Nolan to be the number one replacement. And I think Kenny heard that, and he started being very jealous and angry that whatever the case may be. Again, we're gonna keep that out the way. But I have a very different opinion of Kenny since January that I had prior. So best of luck. Enjoy your $8 million. GTFOH, and we'll move on to the next coach. It is coaching search season, and what I'm going to allow you all to do, and I'm going to start with the panel here. We'll go in order. I'm going to let you are the Josh Hurd, Shawn, except for, he's touched women in their hands, probably, I think. Who do you hire? You're in charge of the hire, Shawn. Who's your hire?
Well, I think everybody's going to agree with me, and Scott Drew's going to be your first. And
okay, let's take Scott Drew out of it, because he did our intro. That's the least he could have done.
All right. So I'm going to do a little bit of process of elimination on why I wouldn't hire guys, even though they may be suited for the job. Will Wade, number one, if he gets in trouble, you're screwed. Yep. The NCAA will murder you. They will throw you, murk you. They'll murk you and throw you into the sea and say, see you later. Louisville basketball.
Hold on, Shawn. Reason 1,567 why Shawn has never touched a girl is because I asked him to tell me one thing, and he's going to tell me 70 reasons why not. This is why we end up with 2 or 3 hour shows, because people don't listen. Go ahead, Shawn.
That's really the only candidate other than Dusty May. He's only done one thing, right?
What, lose the Temple last night?
Lose the Temple. Well, he made the Final Four. He's one shot away from making the title game. Literally one shot. Just happened to rim in and out. It was out, and then that was it. But I would go Jerome Tang would be my second choice.
Even knowing that there may be some major skeletons in his closet.
That's the thing. I don't know the vetting process. I don't know what those skeletons would be. I have to know what they would.
Because I would take Will, if that was the case, I'd take Will Wade and his discretions that are legal now over Jerome Tang and his alleged skeletons that are waiting to come out. Because that's all we would need is to hire him he seems like a phenomenal coach. I've watched his coaching videos. I've seen him drive his little remote control couch across the streets of Manhattan. I've seen him dancing in the locker room. It seems like a really fun guy and a good coach to be around. And that was my 1B behind Scott Drew until I heard the rumors that were started on. And Rutherford, to his credit, really quick, I'll let you finish up something you've also never heard. Mike Rutherford don't say anything on the air that he doesn't believe to be true, because like me, he doesn't like to. Well, first off, he's got journalistic integrity.
Doesn't like.
Second off, he don't like to have to risk people. You were wrong, which I know 1,000 people are doing that to me with KP, and that's fine. I made a mistake. It is what it is. But go ahead, Shawn. I'll let you go ahead and finish. Uncle Larry in the building, by the way.
So I would like, if it was something like egregious off the court, a la a Chris Beard type thing, right? I can understand why you wouldn't want to make him number 2. The only reason why Will Wade would be off my list is because if he makes any transgressions whatsoever, he's on a show cause. We will be. I'm talking level 3, level 2. It's over.
So what if I could give you a little bit of insight and tell you, you can get it. This is just Jeremy being devil's advocate here. You can get around the show cause. You can have your. I'm Will Wade, by the way, only a little bit fatter, but a lot more talented. And I'm going to send my assistants out to do the stuff that I would do as the head coach, so that way I don't get in trouble there. I've got a collective that can take them out to dinner, take them to the movies, take them anywhere legally, and it'd be not swept under the table, but it would be, nope, not letting you in yet. And they can take care of stuff that would normally be a problem. The only thing that Will Wade, in my opinion, could do, other than like stab it, like anything, choking the chick or,
anything
beating them down, off color like that.
Yeah.
He could pretty much have his assistants do. So I think the press conference would be that. Do you think that he's smart enough and savvy enough to be able to not make a mistake there, or you're just like, I don't even want to risk it.
Well, I don't want to risk it because I'm afraid the NCAA will nuke us. They will nuke it because let's see here. We
That's
had.
if the NCAA is still around in 5 years.
That's true, but right now, remember, IARP's gone.
Courts.
They don't exist anymore. It's basically back to the way it was.
No, I know, but you still got the court system. Just ask North Carolina.
And we know what they done. They took away our title when they shouldn't have. Let's be honest.
We're gonna get that back. We're gonna get that back.
So I don't know what.
I'll go get it.
Yeah.
Houston Coleman, I think it was, got Luke's MLB back, so like, we'll just hire them again.
But that's the only thing that scares me. Other than that, everything else about him, I love it. He'd be perfect fit. But
Dalton, what about Sam? You next. I'm sorry. Then Dalton. What about you? Who would you hire? And unlike Shawn, I would like for you to actually listen to my words. I want you to give me your home run hire, and then the two after that if it don't work. Not 17 people, not 17 girls' names that told you no or you messed up a handshake with.
All right. So
uneffing believable.
Shut up, Shawn.
So with Scott Drew being off the table, my home run hire would be Will Wade. And mostly because of I was thinking along the lines of you. I could put in his contract, look, man, you have no media obligations at all until after your show cause. You can do your community stuff, whatever you want to do, but when it comes to interviews and media obligations, you have your assistants handle that. Post-game interviews, everything like that, that's your assistants, because we can't afford you to slip up before your show cause is over with. Second, so that's my home run hire. Okay. My second choice, I've said it before, would be Mark Jackson. I think he would be phenomenal here. He's a great coach.
Sam, really quick, and I hate to interrupt you because, of course, I'm the guy that don't let nobody else talk, but why do you not think that Mark Jackson, and I have talked to Mark Jackson, would definitely be interested in this job. That is not a nut swing or a flex or anything else. Shawn, I'll explain that to you after the show. That is facts. Texted him, said, Coach, would you be interested in getting back to college basketball one day? He said yes. So what about Louisville? I would love to come to Louisville. So I'll have your people contact our people, but yet nobody outside of this group in our group chat on Twitter, the CSZ support group chat, shout out to everybody in that group chat. Nobody outside of that is mentioned him.
Good thing.
Why do you think they haven't mentioned him?
I think because they don't know the situation as to why he was completely blacklisted from the NBA. That would be the only issue, because he has shown you that he can coach. The only downside to that would be he has no prior college basketball coaching experience. But you just hired someone with that, so without any head coaching experience in college. So there might be a downside to, like, we don't want to go through this road again. And I could understand that, but at least he's had head coaching experience. He could also bring in a staff that is familiar with how college basketball is ran. So I don't understand why no one's even considering him, especially because he has ties to Louisville and he doesn't have a buyout.
Sure, and I'll say this. He's a guy that would he's one of the very few guys that were NBA players that have succeeded in his coaching career, whether it be college, pro, or whatever. He, like a lot of the other ones, Juwan Howard fired, Penny Hardaway should be fired, Chris Mullin fired. The list goes on and on. I don't want to name them all. I'm not trying to give them any publicity, and they don't sponsor the show, but yeah, I'm very shocked after hearing some of the names that have been thrown in there, like Washington State's head coach. Kyle, is it Kyle something? Is it?
I don't know. I don't know who
Kyle
the coach is.
Kyle Smith, yeah, he's been thrown in there. There's been a couple of random, well, even the gaudy names that everybody was like, oh my God, that's a dream. The Billy Donovan or Jay Wright, that's a dream hire. It's like, why hasn't Mark Jackson been brought up? And I don't know the answer to that. Maybe he's not made it
anywhere.
Well, maybe he's also not made it aware that he publicly that he wanted to coach in college again. But I can show y'all the text. He said he'd absolutely love to coach in the college game again. Dalton, what about you? Who do you hire, and who is your? Let's just go to, instead of having three, give me your home run, and then if that one don't work out, who you would pick instead.
I think I made it pretty obvious over the past couple weeks who that would be. Number one would be Scott Drew. Pretty.
No, we're taking Scott out of it. Scott's
took him off the list.
Okay.
Yeah, we took him off the list because everybody's number one would be Scott Drew.
Well, number one's Will Wade. We've said every reason in the book as to why you would hire him. I understand the show calls. I understand why Louisville might not want to hire him because of that. But with how NIL recruits nowadays, I think you could get around that show calls. I do understand, any type of issue with the show calls. So he's 41, a guy who hates losing. Literally just had the single season most wins turnaround in NCAA history at a place like McNeese State, which is not an easy place to win at, despite the strength of schedule. One of the best offensive and defensive teams in the country. Has a coaching style, reminds me a lot of Rick Pitino's in terms of the way he teaches defense. And we all know he's a great recruiter, which I can only imagine Will Wade with Louisville NIL money. And, man, it would be something for me that would be hard to turn down if I was the AD. Obviously, I'm not, and I don't have to, mortgage my future with Will Wade show calls as well. So, but I think Will Wade would crawl to Louisville like some would suggest. Out of the other names, I'll be honest, it's tough because there's a couple different ways you can look at this. I'd probably go Dusty May here for number two. I think after doing 3 hours of research into his coaching style, I'm sold on his offense. It's very European-based / Bobby Knight innovative style offense that utilizes motion. So I would go Dusty May for number two. Just to discuss a little bit about Mark Jackson, I think that this whole notion of successful basketball players joining the college basketball ranks and succeeding as coaches has sort of scarred that narrative with Chris Mullen and Penny Hardaway not being all that great, Kenny Payne and some other coaches, and Mark Jackson hasn't coached in over a decade or at a decade up into this point. So there's some concerns there, but long story short, Will Wade, number one. I don't feel good about number two, but I'd go Dusty May.
All right. Last but not least, and then we're going to get to the chat line.
I ain't win yet.
Okay. Wes, what about make your hire and give us your backups?
Probably agree with the Will Wade, of course. Young, lot of upside. High. Him coming into the ACC, he'd probably be a top 2 coach right away. Like Dalton points about the end money, the way he thinks, just everything overall, I think he would be a slam dunk hire. Behind him, I was gonna go Tang, but then you said the possible skeletons in the closet, so I'm like, I could get with that.
I didn't say that. Somebody else said it.
Can I just? Sorry for interrupting, Wes. That's like a really broad thing to say. Like, oh, a coach has skeletons in the closet. That's like that's not something.
Because they're not going into specifics. That's why it's broad.
Yeah, they're not willing to. Mike was not willing to say, but he just said there were some things he had heard that he had heard that Tang was off the table because of something like that. I used the terminology
Fair
skeletons in the closet. That's how I took that comment.
And so I probably would go Dusty May at number 2, even though Mike kind of basically where he was talking, kind of feels the same way we say Mick's Final Four run was fluky. He said Dusty's Final Four run was kind of fluky.
That's fair.
And he talked about them bringing back everybody and not good, but I like the style of offense. But he would definitely have to hire a coordinator, in my opinion, a defensive assistant.
Absolutely. And Joey, the only reason I didn't go to you is I only said one. We're only doing one. Only reason I didn't go to you is because you made some comments while Shawn was talking, and you've told me repeatedly, just don't go to me for stuff like that. So who would you hire, and then who would your next in command be, or next on the wish list be?
I think Will Wade, and I don't see what the big deal is. Like, for one, the things he got in trouble for aren't illegal anymore.
Right.
So, like, I really don't understand the oh, well, you can't really take a chance. Take a chance on what? What he did's
I
legal
can
now.
barely hear you.
What he did's legal now. There's no reason to be afraid of that. I mean, if that's who you want, and you want to get back where you want to get to, you do it. I mean, I don't get that. And mine after him, and I know I'm in the way minority of this, but I take Little Rick. His ties to the city. He just won what, 25, 26 games. They were 6 wins when he took over, won a conference tournament. Yeah, they're not power. I don't think they're power 5.
No,
They're kind of power 6.
Yeah, they're not
so
quite a mid-major.
right there.
Yeah.
But he's coached it. He's beat us in the tournament. He beat us with Minnesota in the tournament. So he's got the. It's not like this is his first. This would be his first power 5 experience. He's got the tie to the city. We all deep down want some part of Rick Pitino back in Louisville. Yeah, we do. I think we all do want some part of Rick Pitino back. So
I think we want the
slight,
glory and the memories back, but I would not touch Rick with the 10-foot.
I'm not saying I want him as the coach.
Right.
I'm saying we want him back in town, and I think that's a way that could bridge the gap to get him back as well, which is good for Louisville basketball.
For sure. And I saw a lot of people on Twitter last night. Somebody brought Richard Pitino Jr. up, and I saw like 15 people are like, there's no way he'd come back. You're stupid. No, I can tell you for a fact he would come back. Again,
tell my dad.
I think that Daniel Garcia would tell you he would come back if asked. I know he has let us know he would come back. We'll leave it at that. Let's get back to the chat line. We're probably going to go for an hour and a half today. We normally try to do an hour on Sundays, but this is juice. This is what we do this for. Our days where there's the high volume. We appreciate everybody tuned in on all the avenues, and we want to be here for you all and answer these questions. And I guess with the player draft, we won't do the player draft ourselves unless somebody doesn't mention somebody that we said. But Brian McGlasson says Scott Drew, Jerome Tang, Richard Pitino, TJO would be on there too if he could come out with the buyout money for sure. Bay says Sky Clark, Tyler Johnson, Caleb Glenn, Dennis Evans if we can get him healthy. Dennis Evans' basketball career is over. Mm-hmm. So unless they come up with a miracle, and I'm not going to put his information out there, but unless they come up with groundbreaking human technology, which I hope they do, he's never playing basketball again. Quentin says he's chilling watching Marquette work UConn. I thought they played last night.
They did. It's a replay.
Oh, okay. Well, still working them, I guess.
Don't spoil.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil that game for you then, Q. That's from last night. Card guy says Drew Mick.
I almost did the same thing before I came over. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Here's a good game. It's time for conference championships.
But don't you remember, we were in the garage yesterday. 10 minutes was gone in the game, and it was 7-6
Yeah,
UConn.
that wouldn't spoil it. It was like they'd scored 12 points between the two.
Absolutely. Yeah. Roland JoJo says Drew Donovan Wright. Then he would draft Huntley, Tyler, Sky Curtis. I think a lot of people's lists are going to be like that. Brent Kaufman, let's go ahead and throw him up there. I'm going to continue to throw some up here as we speak. Will Wade, Scott Drew, Rick P, Keith, JJ, Ty, and Caleb. See, JJ's one that's not been mentioned a lot on here. I don't think a lot of people have the faith. I if I had to put money on it right now, I would say JJ will not be here next year. And that's no intel. That's just me saying.
It's just you staying on top of things.
Trying anyway. HB says Scott Drew, Scott Threw, and Scott Drew throw the safe. He wants Scott Drew for all three of them.
Oh,
I guess is what he was saying. I thought he was trying to be funny. You know, like those ones you see on Twitter. It was like, pudding tang, tang gang, bada bing, bada bang, cards by 50. I thought it was one of those type deals. Corey Carson says Drew, Tang, and Smart. Keep BHH, Tyler, Clark, White, Glenn, and Williams. He's just going to
keep the whole team.
He's trying to keep everybody. Ray Dex says Tyler, Caleb, Sky, Curtis, BHH. Okay. Chris Deere.
Got to keep BHH.
Got Drew, Smart, Miller. I think BHH. And I think you'll see BHH and Sky enter the portal. I think they'll both be back. Steer says Drew, Smart, Miller. I would take Archie Miller. He was talking about Sean Miller, but he also said I would take Archie Miller, because that was not Archie Miller at Arizona, was it? It was Sean.
No, that was Sean Miller.
Sean.
Desmond says, dang, that's harsh. Corrido says Scott Drew, Will Wade, Tang. I'd keep Tyler Sky, BHH, and Caleb.
Man, the merchandise with Tang though would be awesome.
They'd have to serve it in the arena.
Dude, we'd have to have something.
Even though we didn't serve any Big Macs when Chris Mack was here, but it is what it is.
We gotta have some Tang Gang shirts.
Did you hear when Steve used that line for that old WWE line when he asked Marcus the other day, have you ever had Tang pie?
Oh yeah, I did hear that. Marcus has probably had more Tang pie than Steve ever thought of having. Brad Parnell says Scott Drew, Dusty May, Buzz Williams. Okay. Tyler, let me make this perfectly clear. I don't know anything about Buzz Williams. All I know is that when he come into Freedom Hall with his basketball teams or the Yum Center, they played their butts off against us. And he sweats a lot.
Yeah.
And he was bald and then he grew hair.
It was a miracle. So got the Raymond Riggle. He puts an interesting new name, and it's Otzelberger. Who does he? Is that the Iowa State coach?
Yeah, that's the Iowa State.
Yes.
I think that's the TJO guy. The other guy mentioned.
Oh, okay.
Just to butt in for a second.
Sure.
TJO would be legitimately my number 2 ahead of Wade if he didn't have an $18 million buyout.
All right, so y'all heard it here first. Dalton is going to pay the $18 million buyout after he finishes.
Fine, I'll do it myself.
After he finishes furnishing his brand new home. By the way, congrats on that.
When's the party?
When's the housewarming party? We got to do a live episode of the podcast.
Yeah, we got to do a show from over there, bro.
The housewarming party will be when Will Wade is hired as the Cardinals head coach.
Well,
okay.
That never happened then.
Breaking news out of Louisville.
2032, when Will Wade's 60.
Brent Kaufman wants to know if Tang was with Drew. He was. Quentin McCauley, this is a common misnomer as well. Isn't the show cause for only one more year? Yes, but that's 2 recruiting cycles. That's another worry, is that they won't be able to have one-on-one recruiting with the head coach for 2 cycles. Excuse me.
That's when your assistants come into play.
Fair enough. Why am I still liking names like Bayline and Bray? I don't know. But yeah, Mike Bray at Notre Dame was a good coach. I liked it. Peggy Cox wants to know, do you think Wright would be interesting in taking the job? I don't. I really don't. Teresa Waman, 14 feet away from us, says, Jerome Tang! Just like that. It's we'll talk about a couple of these, and I do think Jay Wright is in town to talk with Josh Hurd about this, or however it would be. Yes, I Ball Sports, he makes a great point into something we've said for a while. Will Wade and Nolan together would be rock star. I agree with that. I think if Nolan is allowed to do his job this year.
So you saying he wasn't? What?
Listen, I'm going to let you sound off at the end of the show. You've been waiting to do this for 2 years. Sam is going to get the first ever Cardinal Sports Zone pipe bomb. Now you got to watch your language. Just no MFs or GDs.
No GDs.
No GDs. I'm giving you the parameters right now.
Donuts.
I'm giving you the parameters right now, Sam. No MFs, no GDs. Very limited SHITs, but I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you cook, as the youngins say these days.
Why is he the only one who gets to do that? I mean,
I
don't know, because he's the only one who hates our coaches.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. No. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Not saying you were wrong, but yeah.
Absolutely.
So you're saying he drinks Haterade all the time?
Man,
that's all he does.
No.
He from Miami.
Okay, I did.
Hold on, I'm responding.
He hates Jeff Brom.
No.
That's what I heard. That's absolutely what I heard.
Wow.
And honestly, I just want to let you all know, breaking news at the bottom on the ticker, Sam picked Miami and hates our coaches. So that's
whack.
That's now real news that's going across our screens right now.
That'll be Photoshop next.
I'll take that off of here. That was funny for a second. But no, look. We make sure you hit the like button, as he says. This guy doesn't even have Scott Drew on his list. I said, to be fair, I said to take him off the list.
Right.
So that's why he's not on there. Didn't Jackson's brother and son both play here? Yes. Mark Jackson Jr. played basketball for Rick Pitino. Troy Jackson, his brother, played football and basketball for Denny Crum, or played basketball for Denny Crum, but
and one.
played football. Was it John L? I forgot. But yeah, he's got Louisville ties, as they were saying. No, Scott, Uncle Larry. I know it's very confusing. You're hopping in here. We love you. We appreciate you joining us. Scott Drew's only off the list because I feel like he's such a consensus number one that if I asked everybody, it would just be 4,000 Drews coming up the screen. I want to see everybody's different opinions and different points of view. Yes, just for this assignment by me, he's off the list. Cardinal Cam says Louisville will need a proven winner. Louisville will need someone that has leading man experience, or experienced leading man, excuse me. Wade is the only one that would walk to Louisville for the job. Calm down. Chad Brocky, there isn't a home run other than Drew, but my list would be Dusty May, Todd Golden, Chris Jans. If anybody else says Chris Jans in this chat, I will throw my computer directly out the window.
Chris Jans.
All right. Well, that's been all for this week. We appreciate it here at the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. All right, we're out of here. I'm just kidding. We're not out of here. I just wanted to use that.
We didn't have a show that lasted less than an hour in a long time.
Yeah, I was about to say, my man Jeremy said, "Oh, we're only going an hour tonight." Man, we ain't gone an hour since 2019.
I'm glad I could help.
Absolutely. I know KSU hadn't had the best season, but Tang had. I just wish I could get what Mike said. I trust, like, honestly, when it comes to sports opinions, for me, Mike Rutherford's the number one on that list.
I can get it. Mike's reliable. I mean, everyone in the city loves Mike Rutherford. Probably Louisville Twitter Person of the Year for 7 years straight now. I feel like he's the only one saying that, though. Like, and I am in no way saying that he's wrong, but nobody, like, I've literally, once you said that, I've, for the past 45 minutes, have gone and looking to see if there's anything like even remotely alluding to any off the court stuff, and I just can't find anything, man.
Well, that's why it's a skeleton.
I mean, I guess
I'm just saying, like, if you can find it, then it's not really a skeleton.
Fair enough.
I mean, but like, even the word, like, even there, just, you know what I'm saying? Like, even there being any alluding to there being something there. I don't know.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Measy hates the subtext of people continuously singling out Penny, Joanna, KP. It's not just them. I mean, let's just
Mullen,
call it like it is. I said Chris Mullen earlier. It's just former. There's nothing more to read into that. I know a lot of people like to read into stuff, and some people automatically read into it because that's what they're used to, and that's their real life view of it. The only thing we're saying, is that the ex-NBA players can't coach
college.
Can't coach college.
There's a lot of them in the
struggle.
NBA that were ex players that excel.
So I'm not calling you out, Measy. I'm just saying, there, as far as this show's concerned, there's no singling out. They're just we'll just call it like it is. Chris Mullen's the only white guy there that played in the NBA that is coaching in college.
Top of your head.
Fred Hoiberg is the only one I can think of now. He's having a good year this year, but
you're a Fred Hoiberg.
It hasn't been great.
Where's the coach?
Nebraska.
He coached the Bulls.
Yeah, he coached the Bulls, got fired, and he's in Nebraska now.
Yeah, he's at Nebraska.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which they had a decent season this year, but not anything special.
Nebraska.
Peggy says Dennis is done.
He's out husking corn.
Yeah.
Again, Cardinal Cam says it's an easy take to make, but that's what we're doing here. We're having the discussion. It's a viewer event day. T. Carter says Scott, Dusty, Tang, Keep Sky, BHH, Ty, and then Caleb or Mike. Brandon has improved, says Peggy.
I want to throw this ball at Teresa.
Please don't. IK says Sky, Brandon Huntley, Hatfield, Ty, Caleb, Curtis. Okay, taking a couple of more. I think Mike and JJ need to transfer. I believe that JJ will transfer. I think Mike's the 50-50. He loves it here, but he's getting some bags offered by other schools. So I think that ultimately it's how much he wants to be here that makes that decision. I think Tyler's gone. I don't think there's a chance we keep Tyler. I think Caleb is a jump ball decision. Curtis is gone for sure. And I think Brandon and Sky are the two that I would say I would put money on that they returned. That's just me. Desmond Works, says Mark Jackson. Thankfully, we finally got him on the board. Will Wade, Tyler Johnson. Caleb, Curtis Williams. Did you text my wife and ask her
No,
for
I
a
didn't
drink?
text her anything.
Oh, you just waved her over?
Yeah.
Hey, Teresa, will you grab me a Kickstart while you're over there?
Surprised she didn't say no.
The best thing about Buzz Williams teams is they always play hard. You're not going to be on the camera unless you're in the living room, sweetheart. Shout out to my maid. I mean, my wife. I'm about to get in trouble. She ain't listening to you.
She about to shut this show down.
She's about to shut it down. Wait, what? What'd you say? Shut it down?
Oh, sorry.
Welcome.
Last one?
Listen, Higgy, you can join us at any time, man. And Dalton's going in and out. Okay. Tyler's the best player on the team. I agree. I remember Buzz holding the camera for a Louisville sports reporter after we put him out of the tournament. Reporter didn't know who he was. Will wants to know when Nolan's releasing his newsletter. Very, very soon. When I know, you'll know. I hope the new head coach, Lawrence says, is willing to recruit some hometown kids. The problem is that
The talent pool.
it's really good, but Kenny didn't look at any of them for the most part.
Well, that's what happened with Petrino, too.
Sure.
Took a little while to build back.
Did we finally get Higgy? And he's in his car.
Oh, there he is.
And there goes the screen.
Do you no longer so you think it's Shawn, half the time I can't even decipher. So you think longer it's Cronin or Drew? I don't speak Klingon, Shawn. What about Steve Lutz? I don't even know who that is. Babu says he loves Nolan, but if it's not true. So I'm not going to even address that. I wish I would have read that before I put it up on the screen. C. Franconia also mentions Patrick Ewing, Jerry Stackhouse in that group. Yeah.
I think Pat is he still coaching?
No.
I don't
No, Ed Cooley moved down there to
Okay.
George.
Beasley says Billy Donovan, baby. Okay. What about Earl Grant?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. Oh, BC coach.
BC's coach, yeah.
Johnson will be Coach P's next year at St. John. Maybe so. And then Isaiah Kelly. Do you think Tyler and Curtis hated it here that bad? I don't want to. I know why. I don't want to say why. I don't want to pile on these young men. Steve Lutz is the Western Kentucky coach. Yeah. Great guy for up and coming program. We are not a up and coming program. Dalton next up. We're not. You can. Shawn,
We shouldn't be, but right
we're
now
not.
we got to be brought back. We're a brought back program.
No, we had a couple rough years. We're
10.
good.
10.
No, we didn't have 10 5-win
Five.
seasons.
Well,
Yep.
that doesn't mean it ain't rough.
Can y'all
So
see
what
me?
we're gonna do next? Do we see you? Are you John Cena?
Y'all, my screen is like everybody's things are black.
Yes!
Oh.
Yes!
You locked him out.
Throw the flag.
Yes!
We can see you, Wes.
I've been waiting on that all my life.
I don't know why. I guess
Unbelievable.
At blessed underscore.
Yeah, just back. Hey, bricked up West. I need you to back out of the program and go back in and see if you can find us. Jesus Christ, I didn't know we were gonna go there today.
That kind of show.
Dalton, here's what I want you to
Love
do
it.
next. Next segment, we've got a special visitor coming in here pretty soon. He is a 4-star edge. His last name's Mayo, which I know Shawn automatically would love that. But yeah, that was wild. Said Jeff left. Give us a little bit of insight. I'm gonna go ahead and message him. Okay, Wes is back. I'm gonna go ahead and message Mr. Mayo at that. I don't know what this is on. Is that his finger? I hope on this. This show has turned all kinds around. Tell us a little bit about the guy coming in to visit at the end of this month.
Well, his name is CJ May.
Why did I say Mayo? I guess
I don't know.
Thanks,
I
Higgy.
couldn't tell you. But yeah, so CJ May is a 4-star edge rusher who has been recruited by Louisville for honestly over the past year, I should say. Brom has prioritized him, and CJ May ultimately ended up committing to Notre Dame. Decommitted from there for probably a couple different reasons. Number one, for those who don't know, Notre Dame has a very Clemson-like recruiting policy that if you are committed here, you don't visit elsewhere unless you decommit. So May ended up decommitting, wants to take some more visits. There's also some rumors from the Notre Dame side that the coaching staff did some more scouting and felt that it might be best for him to go elsewhere. But there's two sides to every story. CJ May is from a very talented spot in Alabama, Highland Home High School. 6'4", 225 pounds, probably projects as a Leo in that outside linebacker role. But scheduling some key visits here over the next month or so. I know he wants to visit Texas A&M, Mississippi State's on that list, Syracuse, Auburn, Mississippi, Memphis, etc. From what I've been told from the Alabama side of things, I don't really expect the Crimson Tide to get involved in this recruitment, at least not at this point, which is good news for the Cardinals. But then again, you really never know towards the end. But CJ May is a pretty solid player, but he's not the only guy that's going to be on campus. I know we've been talking a lot about basketball, and for good reason, but you look down to the southeast in that South Florida corridor, and there are probably close to 10, maybe more, very highly ranked South Florida kids that are either going to be on campus for unofficial visits or official visits. That's including top 100 prospect Ben Hanks Jr. out of that the South Florida Miami area. So I would implore you all to do a little looking into who's going to be on campus, because I know we've been talking a lot about basketball, but Jeff Brom's cooking, and he's cooking with gas on the stove at the moment, because there's some big time recruits that will be on campus that Coach Jay Hova and company have done a great job with.
Absolutely. And
Class for football season.
Class of 2025. Can't wait for him to get here. He will be at the spring practice on Monday, March the 25th. Excited about that. CJ the Slim Reaper May. Maybe that's why Oh, his Twitter is at CJ Mayo, but the O is a 0. Okay, well, that wasn't necessarily a Higgy error. That was just Jeremy reading it incorrectly. And as you can see on the breaking news ticker, Sam picked Miami and hates our coach.
Yep. He said it.
You all heard that first.
He hates Brom.
Here.
I did not. Whoa.
we all heard it, dude.
He is creating his new Twitter called Get Brom Out. It's very unique, and
only if you bring Saban in.
Okay, now you're just talking crazy. You're talking crazy talk, Sam.
You don't have a mute button like on Pardon the Interruption or whatever that show is, Around the Horn.
Well,
Around the Horn.
It's away.
Hold on, let me see. Hey, Sam, can you hear us? Sam, wave if you can hear us. Say something. Oh, cool. I can mute him. I didn't know I could do that. Thank you, Joey.
He hates Brom.
Yeah. Sam hates Brom. Sam, if you don't hate Brom, say I don't hate Brom right now. Yeah, I don't hear anything.
Crickets.
No, I don't hear anything. Looks like his mouth's moving, but there's no sound coming out. Listen, really quick, we're going to go to the halftime point of the show. It's our sponsor talk segment. Bear Nose on Market. Our guy George down there manages it, owns it. Great dude. We had a couple weeks ago, we had a pregame CSZ Podcast appreciation dinner. Took great care of us, great service, great food. It's very convenient. You can pretty much get in there very easily. It's a block down and then a block up from right across the street from the Spaghetti Factory. Don't just hit that. Just don't hit it up for Louisville games, which you can't anymore this year. But concerts, I'm sure we'll head there before SmackDown in June.
My gosh, our guy Jeremy Sharp plays a lot because him and George are really good friends. He plays a lot down there.
I didn't know that.
Awesome
Well,
show.
You could have helped. You could have helped me. You could have helped me facilitate.
I didn't know
this
you
deal a long time ago.
him.
Okay, fair enough. But anyway, fitness. Bear Nose on Market. Sorry, the Market's kind of tripped me up there. Make sure you tell them Cardinal Sports Zone sent you. We're going down Tuesday. I think me and Joey and Teresa are going to go down Tuesday and have lunch and talk to them about maybe extending this deal going forward. Speaking of markets, Fitness Market, Chris and Sarah out there take really good care of you. Make sure you say the CSZ sent you. You got the finest of fitness equipment here in the city. We actually have bought multiple pieces of equipment from them, workout stuff, some weights and stuff, phenomenal stuff. we're going to get another. Now, I know y'all are going to say, I thought y'all thought your treadmill was from Fitness Mark. Well, it was, but it got damaged in the flood that happened while I was in the hospital.
R.I.P.
So rest in peace to the
It
treadmill.
was up to my knees.
It was. Thank goodness Joey was able to get that. Joey getting a lot of love today. He'll get some more. He'll get some more later in the show. Don't jump the gun.
I had my wading boots on.
Unbelievable.
I did. I got pictures and videos to prove it.
Absolutely. But Fitness Market, top of the line equipment. Tell them we sent you. Great people. Speaking of great people, Chris out at 4 Pegs, Beer Lounge, 1053 Goss Avenue. Higgy, can you let them know what some of the specials are for this week at 4 Pegs?
Yeah, so they got some different fried pickle specials this week, along with they're still doing their specials for Lent and shrimp and fish po' boys. So go out and see them more than anything.
Absolutely. You heard it from the official spokesperson from CSZ for 4 Pegs, the notorious HIG.
They have different fried pickles.
I mean, they might have.
Yeah,
pickle.
they have a hot and spicy pickle, a dill pickle, and a couple of sweet pickles.
Okay. All right. That's what I was just clarifying because I hadn't really thought of it that way. So good job, Higgy.
Bill Jones. Speaking of Bill Jones, happy birthday again to the birthday boy.
Happy birthday, Bill.
Dad, look at that.
Collision Course Crew Tailgaters. It's almost time. It's behind the El Nepal. It used to be the Cardinal Hall of Fame Cafe. Shout out to Bill, Garrett, Rhino, Craig.
I think they are. Bill can confirm, but I'm pretty sure that they're for the spring game. We'll be setting up a tailgate for that.
Okay, so you heard it here second. And then who's what's the Kentucky fan's name?
Curtis.
I'm just kidding. I say that every week.
Curtis.
Bill, Garrett, Rhino, Craig, Curtis. Shout out to them. Kevin.
Weatherholt.
Oh yeah. Okay, I thought. Okay, all of them. All of them. ALLEM. All of them.
All of them.
Shout out to all of them. Cherry picking a hoops themed cold pressed juice and smoothie bar, inspiring you to take what's good. It's conveniently located at 828 East Main Street, behind the local seltzery. Tell them CSZ sent you for 15% off your order. Shoot 360 is a premier state-of-the-art basketball training facility with highly skilled trainers, not highly trained skillers. Peyton Sieve is one of the owners. Call 515-6556. Sign up for the women's clinic coming up on March 23rd. And if you go to shoot360.com, you can pre-register for a free workout. Our cousin's going to come out. Carrie Ann's going to come up and take advantage of that this summer. She's playing the AAU ball up here, and she is a walking triple-double. So we're hoping to get her. You know, they always say the best way to get better is to sharpen your tools. Peyton and them will sharpen her tools. And last but not least, the sponsors of our chat line. It's the Mossy Oak chat line. Wait a minute. Who? Oh, dear God. We'll talk about this in a second. Higgy, we're going to pop you off for a second because you take up most of the room, but stay here. It's the man that likes to kick puppies, drown babies, and smother old people. Steve Rummage. Steve Rummage.
What's going on, man?
Where are you at? Are you in World War
How's it going?
His truck has the worst Bluetooth ever, so he's probably got us on his Bluetooth. What's up, man?
Steve Rummage.
Doing okay?
Yeah, doing okay. We're just talking about who we want as the next head coach of the University of Louisville.
Hang on, let me try something.
Okay, try something because this is awful. Yeah.
I'm trying. Get it off the Bluetooth.
For the love
Can't get it off the Bluetooth.
This is what you get with Steve Rummage, by the way.
I can't get it off the Bluetooth. Hang on. There we go. What about now?
A little bit better. A little bit better.
Yeah.
So you were saying the other night on Midnights that you wanted Penny Hardaway and Bob Huggins. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, right. That's what Ian told me. It's out at Penny Hardaway. I went ahead and told everybody that.
Yeah, this is horrible, Steve. We'll have to get back with you some other time. Dalton has been pushing the Will Wade narrative. How do you feel about Will Wade? Okay, I'm kicking you out of here.
About Will Wade.
Yeah, he
Oh, I was about ready to have a discussion.
Yeah, you were, and he'll probably pop back in before we finish. Mossy Oak Properties, last but not least. If you're in the market to buy or sell farms, land, recreational, or residential areas in the state of Kentucky, let Paul or one of the team of professionals at Mossy Oak and Hart Realty help you with your buying and selling needs. Call Paul at 270-537-4422 or email him at pthomas@mossyoakproperties.com. Mossy Oak, we know land. All right. And congratulations, Higgy. Steve has just overtaken you for number one all time for the worst call in of all time. So you've now been relieved of that. And how come I can only see like Jeff's hand, top of his hand in his head, or not Jeff? Good God, I'm kicking myself out of the group. Wes, I can't see you anymore.
Really?
Yeah. No, wait a minute. It's Dalton. I can't see.
That's Dalton.
I hate this.
I was gonna say you can see me because I'm in the aisles of Kroger here.
I should have known. Let me take Dalton out and put him back in. I don't know. Dalton's videos went out. So
No, it's if he just puts this camera, because he did it when Steve was there.
Oh, okay. So his camera's just aimed differently. Threw me off for a second.
Yeah.
Rapid fire really quick, and then Sam, I want you to give us a little update on Louisville women's basketball after rapid fire. Spring football, April 19th. Louisville lacrosse completes a comeback against number 20 Clemson, winning 13-12. Former Louisville Cardinal and Texans pass rusher Jonathan Grenard signed a 4-year, $76 million deal that includes $42 million guaranteed with the Minnesota Vikings. Didn't have a very good series this weekend against Virginia Tech. I see you. Got mollywopped yesterday and today, but yesterday we had
Look at the chat.
What'd you say, Dalton?
Look at the top of the chat and see who's in the chat.
Oh God. Oh, it's CJ May in the building.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's good, CJ? Hey, I'll show y'all's love for CJ. What's good, man?
CJ.
Man, glad to have you here. We'll have to have him on the show sometime. We'll have to get that cleared and have him on here, man. Shout out to him. We'll leave him up there while we finish up the. Actually, we'll just ignore Sam and talk to CJ for the rest of the show. But it was the first time since 2019 Alex Bonella hit for the cycle. Gavin Kiley hit for the cycle in a 12-6 loss to Virginia Tech yesterday. Got smoked 8-1 today. And also, last but not least, in our rapid fire, I'll be on tonight for a couple of minutes with our cousin Jonathan at 9 p.m. Eastern time tonight to rile up the Wildcat Alley, and that is their podcast down there. It's not just their high school mascot.
High school Wildcats.
Yeah, it's not the
Sucky
Wildcats. They cover that part of the state. He's got a really good opportunity to do something special with that, and I've been kind of trying to help him out with it. So tune in. I'll probably give him a lot of crap. There'll be a lot of laughs tonight, so tune in for that at 9 o'clock. Well, while we have him in here, Dalton, do you have any questions for the Slim Reaper?
I assume he is still in here. Might have just popped in and say what's
Sure.
up and popped out. But I kind of want to ask about if there's any type of relationship with Mason Mims from Alabama, both of them from Alabama. The Cardinals' lone quarterback commit. Sometimes recruits talk, sometimes they don't. I would wonder if there's any type of relationship there. And then overall, what sort of separates Brom from some of the other coaches that are recruiting him, and why Louisville is of interest and have been for some time, because I know that they've prioritized him pretty much since the last fall before he committed to Notre Dame.
Awesome. If you're still in here, CJ, let us know what you can know. We appreciate you joining us, man. We I was contacted earlier in the week and was like, man, this kid's coming in. He's special. We got to have him. Make sure y'all pump him up this week. And I'm like, you didn't even have to tell me that. We were already pumping him up. Looking really forward to him being on campus. Garrett Hoover says, afternoon, boys. Babu was an interesting point. Maybe I'll agree with him. Maybe you don't. Little Rick knocked his dad out of the tournament last night. I don't know that I agree with that. And thank you, Desmond. Desmond became a premium subscriber to our YouTube. I know $8 million is being floated around for Scott Drew. Does anyone know what he's getting currently paid at Baylor? I don't think anyone knows for sure. The rumor is 3.2. I think the thing that got everybody fired up earlier in the season is that Kenny Payne was actually making base salary more than Scott Drew, allegedly. So, yes, Garrett says they are setting up for the spring.
5.1 million.
Okay. Quentin says no one knows officially, but it is between 3 and 4 million. Baylor is a private school, so they don't disclose the information. I've also heard Scott Drew might have a buyout as low as $1 million. CJ checking. Okay, here we go. CJ is responding right here. I've not talked to him much yet. Coach Brom is very persistent. There you go. Hey, we're going to have CJ, you have an open invite. Anytime you want to hop on the show, as long as it's allowed, we'd love to have you on, and Dalton would love to pick your brain a little bit more. Carolyn Jones says that Scott Drew has 0 buyout. That's interesting. Don't know how true that is. It's not true. Okay. Carolyn, you're incorrect, says Dalton. Quentin says CJ to the Ville. And Red State says Steve. Man, I was waiting for the Steve Rummage, Dalton Pence, Will Wade discussion.
I was about ready to go to bat for Mr. Wade. And personally, I don't want to speak for Steve. I think I won't speak for him. I won't speak for him. But shout out Steve. Disney World Steve.
Absolute Disney World. Listen,
Orlando Steve.
Orlando. He's going to be Orlando Steve within the next year. Make sure you're out there supporting our photographers, by the way. We do want to shout out all of our fine sponsors: Bear Nose Fitness Market, Four Pegs, Collision Course Crew, Cherry Pick and Shoot 360, Mossy Oak. Those are our spring, summer sponsors. If you want to sponsor us in the fall, hop on board now. We don't have much room up top to fit you in. Going to have to start putting them on the side, putting them over Shawn and Higgy's face. Well, that wouldn't be too bad. But if you want to sponsor us, bottom left-hand corner tells you how you can sponsor us on the screen right now. Social media, you can follow us on everywhere below Higgy. At the bottom, it shows you how to follow us on social media. It shows you how you can support us monetarily. You can also, as Desmond did today, he become a member of the premium YouTube. He become a premium YouTube subscriber. So do that. Whatever you can do to support us, we appreciate it. We're also now on the Roku channel. Search for us, kysports.co. $5 a month gets you a subscription to kysports.co, and you can access all of their content for that $5, which includes the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. Carolyn Jones says, Dalton, you're wrong. It's $0 buyout per the parody account Coaching Changes. I think that speaks for itself. You can find this podcast on all the podcast avenues, over 125 in all: Apple, iTunes, Buzzsprout, Spotify, TuneIn, Google, Amazon, iHeart. Hit subscribe or follow now. If you haven't listened to all the episodes of this fine podcast, go back, cardinalsportszone.com, the place that I'll begin. Hit the podcast drop-down menu, find CSZ Podcast, and you'll find over 200 episodes of this glorious podcast, alongside of multiple episodes of our old shows all the way back to 2012. It's a great archive to have. We'll have more exclusives in the fall. Dalton is one of our exclusive writers. He writes our exclusives. Brendan Hoba, he writes our exclusives. And Shawn writes exclusives from time to time. He's the backbone of the website. So we don't really have time to write exclusives anymore. They're more like Dear John letters. But shout out to everybody out there sharing the podcast. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Shout out to our guys, Marcus Maven and Steve Rummage, doing the Lord's work on ESPN 93.9 The Ville from 10 to noon, Monday through Friday. Dalton, I'll let you go ahead and address that last question. And then Sam, after Dalton, I want you to go ahead and give us a little women's basketball update.
Oh, you talking about what Carolyn said in response to the buyout? I mean, I will say this: Coaching Changes, the model in which they do things, or method, I should say, their business model, quote, so to speak. There's times where they get really good information, and then there's other times where they don't, and they admit that they don't, but sort of the method in which they do it, sometimes that gets lost in the sauce. I will say that it could be zero, full transparency, but with Baylor being a private institution, sometimes that information does not have to be disclosed, such as fully what he is making. So
absolutely, I'm gonna throw CJ. I'm keeping CJ's comment, Joey.
So ESPN, or I'm sorry, USA Today, the 5.1 million. That's what he's scheduled to make next year.
Okay,
His salary goes up from the mid threes to 5.1, and it does say on there that he has no buyout.
okay, fair enough.
if that's the case, then I'll
And that, you know, it could just be wrong as well. But
I just knew that his base was less than Kenny Payne's base,
Yeah.
because that's what people were up in
next
arms
season
about.
it goes up, it accelerates.
It's gonna go way up if he's the coach here at
That's
Drewville. I mean Louisville.
If we can give him as much in one season as he was making in last year and next year combined, I mean, I don't know how you pass that up, man.
Well, I heard his main concern was NIL money, and I know for a fact we've got about $4 million sitting between funds raised for this next season and funds that Kenny didn't even bother using. Another lie that was told. He said he went out and only had $1 million to spend. No, he had a couple million sitting at the collective,
and he raised all of it.
waiting to be used. Allegedly, all these things. Listen, disclaimer. Speculation runs rampant on here, but we only report you what we believe and what we've heard and what we think is true. Chad Brocky says someone trolled that Twitter account hard earlier this week. Yeah, like I said, and like Dalton said, there's a lot of stuff that they put out. Well, there was something. Dalton, was that me and you that was talking last night? They had put something out, and then their next tweet was like, "Oh, no, it wasn't. It was in the group chat. Somebody put the Mick Cronin to Michigan thing out on coaching changes, and then the very next tweet that account put was, well, we've only got one contact in the UofL athletic department, and we don't really know him very well. So it's kind of like, oh, so you just made up stuff because maybe he put out that Scott Drew was no longer. It was something along the lines. The first one was like, Scott Drew's definitely not taking the Louisville job, according to our sources, and it was like our source is the friend of a friend of the janitor. So it was like, it was crazy. Yeah, absolutely.
Was a friend of Sam's who hates Louisville coaches.
Wait. Sam, what?
He hates Louisville coaches.
What is Higgy doing? Where is he at?
He's
Kroger.
shopping for nachos.
Hey, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I respect him hopping on a show.
Yeah.
Kroger, bro.
Well, here's the
Grab my
problem.
breakfast for the
problem.
week and
Higgy
some else.
there are 2 hours a week that Higgy knows he needs to be at home, and not one of them hours is he ever at home.
Higgy, here's your assignment. Go up to anyone working at the store. It can be anyone. Show them on camera, or you have to get their permission to put them on camera, and ask them who the next Louisville men's basketball coach is going to be. What did you say, Sam?
Well, if only I was in a Louisville Kroger, that'd be awesome to do. But
I don't care. Ask a bystander who Louisville's coach is going to be. I think it'll be.
He's not going to do that.
Jerry
I don't care.
probably.
I'm in Tennessee. What do I care about Louisville?
No, he's walking outside now, though.
He's
not
walking
gonna
Oh,
turn
and
around.
Tennessee fans, they'll probably say, hopefully Rick Barnes.
Uneffing believable.
Shut up, Sean. But yeah, he's outside. There's no way he's going to burn the calorie it takes to turn around and walk back in.
He said the calorie.
The calorie.
He's like the Titanic. Once he gets going one way, he's screwed.
Garrett Hoover says I was there. I can confirm
John, be
that.
careful what you're treading on.
The Titanic, you say?
You don't know nothing about.
The Titanic, you say?
Don't do it. Dog.
The Titanic, you say?
Sean is the opposite of the Titanic.
I'm not going to go there.
I'm the
We can have
iceberg.
45 minutes to talk about that.
Wacky
No, you're not.
inflatable.
No, you're not, bro.
Iceberg.
You're on a dry dock right now, Sean.
Whoa.
Well,
Uneffing believable.
we all know that the University of Louisville men's basketball program is the Titanic, and that you shouldn't jump off of the Titanic or something along those lines.
Very, very true.
But I
Look,
digress. Jeremy, go
Garrett
ahead.
says he believes the CSZ ticker at the bottom. Sam picked Miami, hates our coaches. I was there. I can confirm. Sam hates Louisville coaches.
I don't know why.
He's a closet Miami fan. And last but not least, before we wrap up, Babu says, give Higgy a break. We know it takes him 8 hours for him to shop at Kroger. Just kidding.
It takes 8 hours for him to tie his shoes.
$8 hours.
He's starting for tomorrow morning at work right now, like when he gets home.
Oh, Robert Holt, premium subscriber Robert Holt jumps in and says, what's up, fellas? Are we ready to put up a fight? I'm glad I won't have to hear that word. Fight.
Oh.
Every other word.
Ready to fight?
Joey's always ready to fight. All right, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and finish the wrap up I was doing. As always, 502circle.com. Go there. You can, for as little as $1, you can, I know I feel like I'm one of those infomercials on TV, or donate $1 to a,
now keep talking.
donate $1 to either a hungry kid or a sick dog, but that's not what we're doing. We're trying to, these dollars add up for these players here at UofL. So $25 a month, that's the campaign I subscribe to. I barely notice it's missing. It's so little. If you can't do that much, they don't care. $5 a month, $10 a month. If you want these caliber of athletes at Louisville to improve, do all you can to donate to the cause. It's a different age. It's a different time. Donate if you can, 502circle.com. The Louisville live streams are coming back this week. I don't know who my first guest is in the reboot, the second half of the season, I guess. I guess this will be season 1, part 2, as Netflix describes it. I should be finding out tomorrow, but stay tuned to my Twitter or the Cardinal Sports Zone Twitter, which is right underneath. Oh, wait a minute. I got to pull the disclaimer of Sam hating all the coaches.
Yeah, he hates them. Don't know
he
why.
Hates our coaches, allegedly. But we'll let you know. Cardinal Sports Zone, it's under the Cardinal Sports Zone Twitter handle is underneath Higgy and whoever is next to Higgy. I've got my script. Oh, Higgy and Dalton. Sorry. It's right underneath Dalton, actually. Follow if you keep in touch with that. We'll let you know. See. Stay tuned to our social media. Subscribe to us on YouTube or Facebook to be alerted anytime we go live, even though we prefer you all watching on YouTube. You can subscribe to my tweets if you want to keep up, but I tweet a whole lot. Do that at your own risk. Also tune in for Live 155 every Wednesday with any updates throughout the week. Wes, Higgy, and others will join me for those. You saw how off the rails it was this past week when Dom, Assad, Brandon, and Dan hopped on. I didn't have to ask them. They're like, hey, can we hop on? Absolutely. Big night, big numbers. Big deal. Appreciate y'all support and appreciate y'all support now as always. Last words. Normally I'll let other people, but I have to give a little props here. Shout out to the little brother, Nolan Smith. He was named to the Hoop Herald 35. That is for the nation's top. Joey's like, yeah, he's about to talk about me. The top 35, the top assistant coaches under the age of 35. Great honor for him. Appreciate him. Love him. He sends his love to you all. I'm very excited for his future. I think he's going to he's going to do big things. And my last parting shot was yesterday. Me and Joey, we went out I had to go grab some new clothes, and we rode out to the big man store. Not like the Higgy big man store, but the tall store. It got me some clothes. We went and grabbed some lunch. Then we come home. We couldn't get the garage open. So I using my connections, I was given a YouTube video on how to pop open my garage from the outside. So we had to kind of burgle our way in, and Joey was able to get his big pan hands in between the little space and pop that lever. He called one of his buddies, Joe Dirt, to come over and help us get it open and fix it. And I didn't know Joey had a garage guy. Normally, I'm the guy with the guys.
I have guys, man, but I don't never have to use my guys because you're just right.
Absolutely.
So I got the backup guys. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Do me a favor, and it doesn't have to be during the show. Go check what I just sent in the group chat, and do a little bit of scrolling. And just take a look at it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Would you just look at it?
Which group chat?
The CSZ support group. Don't say anything out loud. Just look at what I sent. And
oh boy.
Oh, he kind of outed himself. Okay.
I'm not saying yes or no, but I looked at it and I said, huh.
Matt, go look at it.
Higgy already went to look at it. I am no conspiracy theorist. I know everyone has an idea of who said person is, who runs said account, but I just have to wonder.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. And there's people that are talking about how inconsistent that coaching search thing is. So take that as at your own But yeah, Joey had his guys. I'd never had a garage guy in my life, and Joey was able to come to the rescue. We were locked out of the house because we all used the garage to come in and out of the house. So in my car, we took Joey's car. My car keys were inside. So
we took my rental because the transmission went out on mine this week.
Well, and also somehow Joey's rental car rolled all of its windows down in the middle of the night during that big storm the other night.
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah. I go inside, never touch the window. So I rent the car right on Thursday. Come over here for a little while, go home, never touch the windows. Come out Friday morning, every window rolled down. Got those little tree sprouts that fall off.
Yeah.
All inside the rental. Water in the not puddles, but like wet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just finally today I've got it to dry out and I've got it vacuumed out. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
That's
that's Master Yoda in the building. Ain't seen him in a minute. What's up?
Hey,
little brother. All right. So I gave my last words. We're gonna go to Shawn. Shawn, next. Your last words.
I can't wait for the spring game.
You know, I'm waiting for the time where Shawn's just like,
I got a girlfriend.
I want women.
Oh.
women.
Shawn, your last words. I want Joey, your last words.
Shawn's last words would be like, I got some. Never mind.
No, Shawn's last words will be like, Joey.
Shawn's last words will be, get your pet spayed or neutered. Help control the pet population. Maryland sucks. And
we're bringing it back.
I have guys.
So I want to ask you this question. Whoa.
I have people.
Pause.
I have contacts.
Okay, there you
And
go.
oh, shh. Sam hates Louisville coaches.
Sam hates he's for Miami.
You just made the list.
Spring practice does start this week. There are open practices. Shawn put out a story. We'll retweet it on the timeline about those spring practices. Sam, you are next, even though you hate Louisville coaches. Go.
My last words are, the Payne is over with. Kenny Payne did not win those games.
I thought he said his accent made it sound like he said the peen is over. Between Wes talking about the black things and Sam talking about the peen. This has now been rated X.
The peen is over.
Unbelievable. Go ahead and talk more about the peen, Sam.
We don't have any more
final
pain.
thoughts.
It's no more pain anymore. So we're all good.
Wes throwing the flag over there. Dalton, you're next. I don't know how you and Wes got mixed up.
I don't know. I'm just waiting to see who will be the next head coach of the women's basketball team.
Yeah, I
hope your wait isn't very long.
I hope his wait isn't very long, and I hope he may not be wrong with that pick there. The flag thrower, Wes Keyes. Wes.
Drew Crew. Good luck to the ladies on the selection. And it's all played up.
Okay, man of very few words. Higgy, I'm going to make this a little different for you because these are actually going to be kind of your first and last words. So what do you have to say to Card Nation today?
There is a will, there is a Wade. So let's see what happens.
Okay, you copied on
Copyright
infringement.
Copyright. It's 50 cents.
I mean, at least it doesn't hate Louisville coaches.
No. Which where did
it doesn't
I see
talk
that?
about peens.
Hey, where did I see? Oh, the ticker. Oh, it's the ticker again. The ticker's going across the bottom. Breaking news: Sam picked Miami and hates our coaches. Look, I want to say really quick before I hop off here, we appreciate your all support. We appreciate all the love. We know we may not be for everybody, but we're here to shoot jokes, have fun. We're a very eclectic group of individuals with different opinions, and it looks like Higgy is now the ceiling of his car, so even he looks different and it sounds different than the rest of us. But that's what we pride ourselves to be in is a great alternative for all those people out there that are trying to be Sports Center. We're not trying to be Sports Center. We're trying to let y'all come somewhere.
No, we're more like the McAfee show.
No, we want you all to have somewhere that you all can come to listen and have a good time and not have to worry about it's kid friendly for the most part, except for whenever we make fun of Sean's relation status. But we just want y'all to have a fun place to watch and congregate and be with like-minded people. Carito says, Joey, that was crazy.
Which part?
Yeah, absolutely. Carito, my bro. Jay Bell in the building with his old country behind. We appreciate you joining us, man. Like Jay Bell, he's one of the dudes. We all got all of our last thoughts, but I wanted to take one last second to say thank you. Let's see what we have today with all of the. So it looks like between the two streams, we had over 10,000 live streamers this week. Phenomenal. Our streaming numbers is way lower than our podcast numbers, but we're just building up this YouTube channel and stuff like that. You all were here in ground floor. We've been here 2 years, but y'all been here from the beginning, and we appreciate y'all's love, appreciate y'all's support. Anytime we don't have a show scheduled and something happens, if y'all want us to hop on, just send me a Venmo and I'm just kidding. Just send me a message and let me know. We'll hop on, man. We're here. We are truly a site. When me, Justin, and Steve created this website and this show and this image, it was a site for the cards, by the cards, fans, and that's why we don't charge y'all for information. We give it away because we've been there. We know how it is. That's just how we roll. Nothing against anybody that does charge, but that's just how we do it. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. I am still waiting for Master Yoda to tell me to hit that fire music like we always do at the end. Dalton, do you know if Wednesday is the first day of spring practice? No, Yoda immediately said it's Tuesday. So, Yoda, tell me what to do with the I forgot how to hit the exit music when you're in the chat. Let us know. We'll go ahead and hit it anyway.
I was just saying it in
Did you just say
swear?
Shitticus? He did.
He did. And he did. Listen, we appreciate everybody. Thanks again for all y'all's love, support, and time. We love you all. Until the next time, this has been the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. Yoda is telling us to hit the music. We hit the expletive music. We're out of here. Thank you, guys.
It's 4 p.m. Tuesday.
4 p.m. Tuesday, spring practice. It's open. It's the first of the year. Portal opens Monday. Happy portaling. Go Krogerin. Get to spring practice. Dalton's already left. He can go himself. It's been the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. Higgy, do a little belly dance for us.
Do the truffle shuffle.
Oh, he's doing bellies dancing. God dog. See y'all.